Cool. I left the file for you here in the description so that you can download this. So this file is from the last class, okay? If you did, it's okay. You don't have to download that. But if you had any problem, the file is already here. You can download this, okay? Let's open it and talk about cameras. As we are working in the project based on references, like the piano house, and actually I left for you the references of this project. Look, let's open the level here. So I left the references for you of this project. You can find the references there in the class 1, okay? You can get back there. There is a link. Then you can download all the files, the file of max, textures, and also the references, okay? So to practice the realism, let's use the references, okay? We're gonna try to develop this project based on references. And what are these references? Look, these are the references, as you can see, of our project. In the final of this course, our house, our project, needs to be similar to this, very similar, okay? Obviously, Unreal has some limitations, but we're going to leave it like really similar to this, okay? Based on the limitations of Unreal, okay? Cool, so let's get started with some image here to use as a reference so that we can position our camera, okay? Let's try to reproduce this image based on what we are seeing. I think this is a good camera. It allows us to see some wood, some glasses, frames, okay? So let's use this camera. Actually, first, I have an idea. Let's follow the order of the images. So this is the first camera, okay? Cool. Let's minimize this, okay? And let's create our camera inside Unreal. That area is this area here, okay? Let's create a camera. How can I do that inside Unreal? Well, there are two ways. You can click on Create, Cinematic, and this first option. Or click here, Create Camera, okay, here. And this option here. What is the difference? Well, the camera actor, it's a simple camera. It doesn't have some features, for example, as depth of camera, adjust of some other things that you can see in a professional camera. The second camera, it's a more professional camera. Like, let's say it's more physically correct. You have some parameters of like real cameras, okay? Let's see. You have adjust of ISO, exposition. You have a lot of things here, okay? It's good to use because it's more complete. And what's the difference of creating a camera here and there? Well, if I create here, well, I'm going to create a camera in the center of the screen, like in a random place. Okay, I'm gonna delete it. Let's select this, delete. If I create a camera here, I'm going to create a camera based on what I'm seeing. Look at this. It has created a window here in the exactly position where I'm looking at. Look, you see? Let's delete this. Oh, okay, so if I create a camera based on what I'm seeing, so let me position the camera like this, and I'm going to create a camera here. I want to create a camera here where I'm seeing, where I'm looking at. Yeah, we just created. Yeah. How can I see from this camera Well, I go to perspective, scene camera actor. Look, now I'm seeing from the camera. I can exit the camera. So now I'm again looking as a perspective. Okay, so let's change to the other position. Let's select this image here. Let's try to base on this reference to create our camera. Like this. Let's see, more or less like this. Yeah, okay. So let's create a camera here. Scene camera actor. Yeah, we just created. It's selected here. Or the other one. Yeah, or the new one or the old one. Perspective, scene camera actor 3. Look, this is the new camera that we just created. Scene camera actor 3, scene camera actor 2, scene camera actor 2. You see? 3. Let's create another one. This one. No, actually, let's see. This one. Yeah, this one is really beautiful. So let's create this camera here because it's very vertical. It's pretty cool. Let's find more or less the position. Be careful when you activate the camera here, because everything that you do, you're moving the camera, okay? So be careful. Look, we have the other views here. We're gonna notice that there are cameras here. Okay, or camera 3 and the camera 2. Okay, so be careful because you can move the other camera. All right. So if you don't want to do that, don't forget to click here and exit the camera. Okay. So let's create a camera now that looks similar to this. All right. Vertical. We're going to learn how to adjust this. Let's just create a new camera here. Let's minimize this and bring it here. Let's see if you have any gimmicks like pure reference you can use. I'm not gonna use it, okay, because not everybody has. So let's keep this way. It's more or less like this. Let's see. Obviously there are some differences, but we're gonna adjust them, okay? Create camera here, scene camera actor. We just created the camera. Next camera. This one is really beautiful. Let's create this camera here. So let's go to the position because we're not in the camera. We are in the perspective. Okay. Look, it's really cool here. That's very similar. It's more or less like this. Obviously there are some different lenses, but we're gonna adjust this. Don't worry about it. Create camera. Okay. Scene camera actor. We just created another one. Let's see. No, this one, no. Yeah, this one is really cool. Let's create this camera here. It's gonna show the furnitures. It's more or less like this. Yeah. Look, it is with automatic exposure correction. You see? Little dark and suddenly a little bright. Create camera. Next camera, let's see. Let's see. No. This one's beautiful. Yeah, let's create this camera here. Out there, it's like this. Yeah. I'm using S, O, W, D, A to move. Okay. Create camera. Scene camera actor. We just create our cameras. I think for now it's okay. Let's get back here. Let's see. Let's save all. Okay, now let's get started adjusting the cameras. Let's choose the camera to get started. Let's start working with this. Photos 0019. It's the name of this, okay? Let's name it like 0019 so that it's gonna be the same name, all right? Then it's gonna be easier for us to work with this. Camera 0019. Look, it has changed the place. Where is it? Yeah, it's here. This camera here. Let's see the number of this. 001. Yeah, that's it. Let's see the 3. Let's see this one. Let's call it front. Okay, front. Next one, let's see. This one. All right, let's put this number here. This camera here, 005. It's kind of confusing because there are a lot of similar numbers, but let's keep going. This one. Okay, let's call it 005. It's gonna be a little bit confusing, all right, because we have the other similars. It's kind of confusing, but it's okay. Next camera, this one, 009. Save all. Cool. Now let's correct some things in the camera, just some parameters. Let's take, for example, this camera here. Let's try to get closer to this aspect of these aesthetics, okay? I mean, like a different lens, more vertical. Let's try it. Look at this. How can we do it? Well, I'm going to decrease this area here, okay, to use as reference. Okay, I'm gonna choose the camera 005, this one. I'm going to change to 005. Oops, it's the 0005, I guess. Cool. Yeah, let's try to get closer to this aspect. We have this here as a reference, so let's try to get closer. I'm going to decrease here so we will have more area to work. Let's see. I think I can decrease the size, I guess. Yeah. Okay. Cool. How I adjust the settings of the camera? I can select the cameras and I go to details. All right. Inside here, the details panel, I have a lot of settings. All right. And some of them we already know. Okay, like these ones. If it's movable, stationary, static. Okay, as we saw previously in the course. We have here, for example, the size of the image that by default is 16 and 9. The other settings here, focus, a lot of things here, okay? Look at this. We have a lot of parameters here of a camera. Color, we have global illumination, we have a lot of things. Okay, a really important thing is that besides adjusting things in post-process like bloom, exposure, lens, and everything here, besides adjusting these parameters of the image, what I see in the post-process, I can also adjust this inside the camera. Look at this. I can, for example, go here, adjust exposure inside lens. Oh, Dennis, but can I adjust this in different places? Like in post-process and in the camera? Yeah, you can do it. And what's the difference of doing that? Well, if I adjust in the post-process, it means that I'm adjusting in a global way, okay? It's going to consider everything that is in my post-process. For example, if I adjust black and white, if I adjust my post-process and take it off all the saturation, this camera is going to be black and white. All of these cameras are going to be black and white, okay? If I want to do this adjustment of black and white in an individual way, just the camera 1, I can go to camera 1 and I can adjust there, only for the camera 1, okay? Like this, saturation. And this here in the camera 1, I can take it off the saturation, okay? So if I do adjustments in the camera, I'm doing individual adjustments. And if I adjust in the post-process, I'm gonna do adjustments in all the cameras, okay? That's the difference, all right? So it's like this. If we talk about the importance, the camera is more important than the post-process, okay? If I adjust in the camera, the parameters in the camera, they will replace the post-process, okay? So let's suppose we are here in the camera 005. I want to take it off the saturation and I want to increase the contrast for 1.5. Look at this. If I exit the camera, my post-process is gonna get back because my parameter I adjusted in the camera. So this adjustment, this correction is in the camera, but just in the camera 5. In the camera 9, it wasn't any correction, okay? In the other ones, nothing, okay? Only the camera 5. So let's get back to the default here, okay? Cool, let's get back to the camera 5. Okay, so if I have corrections in the post-process and also in camera, it's gonna consider the adjustment that I made in the camera. Same thing, the adjustments of size, depth, or lens, and everything, okay? So let's just adjust first the size of the image. Here, look at this. I can move, I can change, and I can leave it like this, customized, okay? We're expanding, increasing, we're adjusting in millimeters. Okay, let's leave it like this. Let's see. We can adjust like this. So it's gonna look very similar to the reference. Look, the size is basically like this. But now, obviously, we can adjust the size of the lens. Let's put 14.5 and 21. Okay, cool. Now we can adjust focal length. Okay, it's 11. Let's put it like this. Okay. Oh, it's wrong, the modeling. Let me hide this. Let me go behind. Like this. Let's see. It's almost like this. let's see, like more like this. Look at this. Let's see. I think it's. Let me see where our camera here. I think we have to put a different number, like a lens with 16 millimeters maybe. It looks like that's it, I guess, and more like this, because we don't see a lot of things there. So let's see. Yeah, that's it. I guess it's okay. It's like this. Let's see. I think it's like this. This we can lift it up a little bit. Okay, because I think it's the wrong position. Let's put it a little bit like this. Let's lift it up. Yeah, I think. Let's see the lens here. 14 maybe millimeters. I think it's like this. Yeah. So this camera is okay, I guess. We adjusted the size of the image and the focal length. Other thing that we can adjust is this. We can make the scene more sharper or blurry. Okay. But as the length is very small, we cannot see this depth. Okay. So when we talk about photography, there are some adjustments, some lens, different things that we don't have here. Let's leave it like 2, and let's go to other cameras to adjust the position. Okay, let's go to the camera. Let me see. Let's adjust this camera here, 0.5. Okay. Yeah. Let's find the image, 0.5. This one. Also a vertical camera. So we learned that here you adjust the camera vertical. I think it was 14.5, I guess. Let's see. Let's see. We are almost there. 21, maybe. Yeah, I guess. A little more like this. Let's see the size of the lens. Let's try 16. It's not like 16. Maybe. I think maybe it's 22. Let's see. Yeah, it looks like this. It's more or less like this. Let's see. More or less like this. And I think I need more area on the other side, the left side. And I can see a little bit of the window here, so like this, a little before, a little bit like this. Oops, it was a lot. I think it's here. Okay, like this. I think now we can change this number here. Let's open a little bit on the sides. Okay. I think it's 18. Let's see. I think it's more close to 18. Yeah, it looks like this. It's more or less like this. Yeah, I think it's here. We can maybe 20. Let's see. I think it's here. Let's assume it's like this. Cool. Yeah, I think that's it. Do you think is it like this? Yeah, I think we made it. All right. So let's see. Maybe I think it's okay. No, it's okay. For now, it's okay. Cool. Now let's go to the next camera. To this camera here, 001. We can see it's very close. There's a larger lens. All right, let's go there. Okay. Camera 001 here. As you can see, it's a very horizontal image. Okay, so let's adjust this here. I think it's more or less like this proportion. However, it's a larger lens. Let's see. Look at this. Like this. Maybe 25. The lens. More horizontal, I guess. I have more area in the horizontal. It looks like more perspective. More like this. Does it look like more perspective for you as well? Let's see. No, it's not like this. I think the other way was better. Let's see. 20. It looks like this. I think we can assume that for now it's like this. Like this. Yeah. Let's leave it like this. And after, if it's necessary, we can adjust. Okay. And let's see some more parameters of the camera. And actually, let's take this camera here. Okay, 005. But right button, added. We can duplicate this. Let's call it camera test. Okay. Let's learn some things about the cameras, some functions. Okay. All right. I'm going to maximize my Unreal and I'm going to go to the camera test. Okay. I can change it here. Look at this. one of the things that we can do here with this camera, that is a camera physically correct, is the field depth. How can I use this? Well, for example, I can use a lens of 50 millimeters. We brought it here. You can see this. Look, we are covering a small area here. You see? Let's use a 41. Yeah, let's see. Look at this. We can blur the background. How can we do that? Well, let me see. Control plus 8, so we got all the elements back. I'm gonna put an object on the scene. Control plus space to open my content area. Let's put the piano. Okay, it's gonna be nice. Piano. Okay, let's put a piano here. We brought a piano. The looming is happening. You see some shadows there. Let's rotate this. I think it's gonna be beautiful. There are no materials. There's nothing. Okay, look. So let's get closer. It's kind of blur, as you can see. But it's gonna be good, so that we're going to learn how to use field depth. Okay, it's compensating the auto exposure is working because it is enabled to be automatically. I think we can disable this in the camera test. Look, let's try to find here, there in lens, exposure, or here we can type exposure. Look at this. It's here. So it's automatic. Okay, let's put manual, and we're going to compensate, and that we're not gonna use this and not this. Okay, now we can do this, increase or decrease. Okay, we can adjust this, the exposure of the camera. As we are adjusting the camera, it is not adjusting the post process. And that means if I exit the camera, everything gets back to the normal. So let's get back to the camera test. Okay, cool, we are here with the piano. There is no focus here because my focus wasn't defined. I didn't choose any object to focus. Let's see. Let's see the piano here. How can I select the local to focus? Well, I go there are two things that are going to work together. This one, the focal length, and the other one. And where do I want to focus? For example, I'm gonna decrease this here because it's focusing in something very distant. So let's decrease this here. Oops, it's getting focused. Look at this. Yeah, we're focusing. Or to help me, I can select this because it's gonna put a plane for me. And as I decrease, look at this. Look at this. Yeah. I want to focus the last thing here, in the first one here, in the beginning. Look, you see this? I want more area to be focused. I'm going to increase this. Let's put 5. Obviously, as I increased this, I need to compensate the exposure. Go here, lens, exposure, here. Okay. Or if I want to compensate the exposure, I can leave my exposure as automatic. Okay. That way, Unreal will compensate for me in an automatic way based on the opening that I choose. Let's decrease and increase the opening here. Look. Increase and decrease. Okay. If I leave there as automatic, it's gonna compensate the exposure. If I put manual, I'm going to have to work the opening together with the exposure, okay, as a real camera in the real life. Okay, let's see here. We want to focus here. All right, so I click here and I click on where I want to focus. Okay, this way I can work and plays with my field depth, and this way I can create my scenes and create the concepts of my image. You see this? So yeah, the screenshots, the renders based on the concepts of photography. I'm gonna decrease a little bit the exposure here. Let me leave it like this. Okay, yeah, cool. So I'm gonna finish this class about cameras. We will learn more about cameras during the course, but this class was to teach you how to adjust, how to control some parameters. Okay. So I'm gonna finish this class, and now we're going to start working on the realism. In the next class, we're gonna work on the materials. Okay, next module is gonna be a longer module because we're gonna create a lot of materials. Okay, but remember, we didn't create any material. Okay, there's nothing here. So I'm gonna finish this class and see you until the next class.